Hello, video.
What? Let's do this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of my wedding series. Today, you're going to be coming along with me as we get ready for my bridal shower. I cannot even believe the words that are coming out of my mouth right now. What? So I thought I'd take you along as I go ahead and do my makeup, do my hair, do all of the random things that I need to do to prepare for my bridal shower today. I am so excited. Of course, I know nothing about what is about to happen today, which is a little nerve-wracking, but I'm so excited. I'm sure it's gonna be lovely. But I thought I'd just bring you along for such a wonderful, fun time, wonderful day. Bridal shower. Let's do this. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this type of content because it doesn't hurt you and it doesn't hurt me. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into this. Get ready with me. Okay, so first things first, we got a prime. I'm using my e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. I like to use this just through the center oily parts of my face. As you can see, my face decided to kindly give me a pimple right on the bridge of my nose when I woke up this morning, so love that. Now that it is warmed up a little bit on my skin, I am just going to blend this in. All right, I'm gonna bring my mirror closer. I hope that that is not supremely annoying. Work it into those pores. Get rid of her. Now you'll notice I am not going all the way up under my eye and I'm also not bringing it over here. That is because I want there to be hydration and natural highlights happening over here. And so I do not want to take this matte primer and put it over there. Does that make sense? I'm only working it in the spots that I do not want to have oils showing up. Okay, now that I have done that, I'm gonna take my MAC strobe cream and I'm gonna apply that basically around the perimeter of my face where I did not put the matte primer. Now this is just gonna give an extra little glow from within. I did notice that my nose is peeling a little bit, so I am gonna put this on the bridge of my nose to give it some, not the bridge, the tip of my nose to give it some extra hydration. Just dabbing that in. Put some here. I'm just blending all of this in, making sure it is all getting in there, seeping into my skin. I wanna make sure we set a good base for the rest of our makeup. Skin prep is so important, and I think it's a step that people often forget. Now that a lot of my chest is actually revealed for this dress, I'm going to take some of this and also apply it to my neck and chest area, just to give some added glow up in here. Okay, now I'm gonna let this sink into my skin for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna use that time to get everything ready that I need to for my makeup, and then I'll be right back. Okay, it has been about 5 minutes and now we are ready to go. So I am going to now prep my lips with the EOS, the Fixer Medicated Lip Ointment. If you have not tried these, they are bomb. So I'm just gonna put a generous amount on my lips so that they're cooking and ready for the lip products later. When I washed and moisturized my face earlier, I did also use a sugar lip scrub on my lips. It's just a simple one that I made myself with part sugar, part coconut oil, and then a few drops of peppermint oil. Bomb and very affordable. Okay, so now I'm going to start with eyebrows first, which I don't normally do, but I've been following Rose and Ben. I genuinely don't know her last name. Her first name's Rose. I think it's like Seared or something. I honestly could have just made that up as well. But she is the most lovely, wonderful human being. Go follow her. Her Instagram is wonderful. She posts daily stories of her doing makeup and she is just so wonderful. She's so uplifting, so positive, just a joy to watch. Go follow her. But recently Rose did a video showing exactly how she does her brows and it looks crazy, but I'm gonna try it. She basically makes a unibrow, like lightly, to make sure that her eyebrows are even and then goes from there. So we're gonna test it. Hopefully it's not an epic fail because we don't got time for that. So I'm just lightly making a line right across. This is what she does in the video. Okay, same here. Now that's supposed to help you make sure that the tops and bottoms of your eyebrows are equal, symmetrical. Something I like about doing brows first is you can easily just wipe away and make it a perfect line, where when you already have your foundation on, you cannot do that. So I will say I like that for sure. Okay, I look crazy. Now basically all you do is wipe away this unibrow thing we've got going. So I'm just gonna take a tissue and gently wipe this away. Just like that. I'm not mad about it. I will say that that was a really fast and easy way to get them like pretty even going straight across. Not mad. Come on, Rose, with the life hacks. Now I'm just going to fluff them out with the other end of the spoolie. Make sure all of that product is evenly dispersed on my skin in there so that we don't look like we have Sharpie brows. Okay, now the brows are done. Let's move on to skin. I'm gonna take my earrings off because I honestly cannot stand having earrings on and getting them dirty. So we're gonna put those aside for a minute. As you can see, I am already in my dress. If you haven't seen my try-on haul thing that I did in one of my previous episodes, I'll go ahead and link it here for you to watch next. It's a fun time. We try on a bunch of outfits. This is the one I decided on for the bridal shower. I'll show you a little bit later a full look. But I really would hate to spill anything on this, so I'm gonna get an apron real quick. Okay, can we take a second? Look at how cute this apron is. I got it at World Market. So stinking cute. Okay, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. The shade that I am using is, oh, right there, 460, idiot. Okay, what I like to do, what I've been liking to do is pumping this just on the back of my hand. That way it can warm up the product a little bit and I can grab as much as I want on the brush without going overboard. So I just let it slide, let it warm up on my hand a little bit. Now I am taking a Sigma brush and I am just going to dip into that and begin working this in this first section right here. Bringing it all the way to the end of the cheekbones, down to my chin, underneath my jaw. You will notice that I am not bringing the foundation underneath my eyes at all. I like to save that just for concealer and I don't like to look too cakey under there, so I don't bring the foundation anywhere near this region. Now let's go to the other cheek. Left cheek, right cheek. Same thing, bringing it down under the jawline. Don't worry, I am gonna hit the neck and chest. We're gonna do that last though, but just making sure we get all under here. Working it in. Get the chin and the nose. This section here. Blending this, blending. Always blending. Taking some more. Now going to this section on the forehead. Really blending this out. Wow, you can really tell that my forehead is much darker than the rest of my face because the foundation up there looks like it's too light. But that's okay because we are gonna bronze this sucker up. We're gonna bronze my 5 head. Not to worry, we are gonna make her look snatched and way less monstrous. Now I'm taking this little tiny bit that's left, scooping that up, bringing it down the neck. I'm even coming behind the ears a little bit. Want to make sure there's no lines. No lines. No capes. Name that movie. I feel like I always, in every single video, make some type of reference to something, and I ask people to identify what it is in the comments, and nobody ever has. Sad. We are going for a sheer coverage today, so that's that. I don't want to get too crazy. So now I'm just taking my wet sponge and I am just melting this in even more very lightly. Tapping, 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 getting that nice and blended into the skin. We want it to look like real skin. That's the goal. Real skin, but better. Now I'm going to conceal with Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I have been dying to try their new creamy formula because I think I would like that a lot. But for now, we still just have the original. I am just using a brush to bring this down, up and underneath the nose, all the way down here. I am not going up too terribly high because I want to minimize creasing. Bringing this up for a snatched eye. Bringing it up and blending this in. You'll notice that I did not put concealer all over the different spots that I want to conceal. I only did it underneath this one eye. I have found that that has helped me with this concealer so much because I used to hate it. I used to think this concealer sucked. I was like, what is everyone talking about? For me, it dries down on my skin too quickly to put it everywhere and work from there. I have to do it in small increments, immediately blend it, then go on to the next thing. So if you found that you don't like the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, maybe try doing it like this, and perhaps you will like it better, because that is what happened for me. Just gotta change the technique a little bit. Man, one of the next things that I would like to invest in makeup-wise is some color correctors. Like a color corrector would be fantastic for this giant pimple that I have right now, because I think she needs a little more than just some concealer, and I do not have any color correctors. So it is what it is. Part of life. It's the real. Now I'm going to take a little bit on my chin, brighten that up. I tend to have a little bit of discoloration around my lips, so I like to make sure that I do this step with the concealer to try to mask that a little bit. That way the line of my lip is a little bit more distinguishable, if that makes sense. Tip of the nose, bridge of the nose, just a little bit. Bringing it up, up to the center of the forehead. Now you're probably thinking, I saw you do a dot and then a line. Why did you do that if you just blended it all together? I do that basically just for quantity control. I don't want to accidentally put too much by doing an entire line. So I just do a little bit here, and then that way when I blend it out, it ends up being the perfect amount, because sometimes I tend to be heavy-handed. So I'm just taking what's left on my brush and I am putting that on my lids to make a more even base here. I also don't use an actual eyelid primer. That's another thing I would like to invest in sometime soon, but for now it is concealer. That is what we have, and it works fine. Great, now we are going to contour. A lot of people don't know that the difference between contour specifically and bronzer is that contour is going to be a more cool tone shade. That is where you want to go with the natural shadows of your face. So naturally, I have a shadow right here and right here. That is naturally where I have those shadows, and I want to accentuate those. Now, as you can see, this color looks really dark for me. Don't worry, I'm gonna use it in a very sparing amount. You can see that. And I am going to just lightly blend this, and I promise you, it will not look that dark when it's actually blended into my skin. This is a Smashbox foundation stick, actually. I found it at a discount place and I snagged it. It is obviously not my color because it's intended for foundation, but I said I'm using that for contour. It's perfect. As you can see, it is blending very beautifully. You cannot even tell. I'm gonna add just a smidgen more, just a smidgen. Again, you'll notice I put this on my hand to warm up the product. That just really helps the blend to be better when we're applying it to the skin, in my opinion. If you have the time to do this, I recommend it. Other side. You'll see I'm not bringing it too far forward either. You do not want this to end up looking muddy, like you have dirt on your face. So I am stopping about where my eye ends, right along here. Does that make sense? Do not bring this too far forward, otherwise you're gonna look like you've got sideburns, like a man from, I don't even freaking know. Like Hans? Like Hans from Frozen. Is that his name? Blendy, blendy, blendy. You'll see I'm also kind of blending up towards the hairline here. That's just to make sure everything's nice and cohesive. We do not want to look crazy. Okay, now I'm just going to take a little bit up towards the hairline in here. Again, we are just going to work towards making my 5 head not look so crazy. So we got to contour that. Going into the hairline, you cannot forget to go into the hairline. That is why I waited to do my hair. We'll do my hair next, because I know that my hairline is gonna get all messed up while I'm doing my makeup. Now I'm taking just a smidgen, and when I tell you a smidgen, please take that so seriously, because if you do this heavy, it will look crazy. I am taking a smidgen along my jawline here to chisel it out more, okay? Just along the jawline here, blending out. Blending is fundamental. Biff! Biff. Now I'm taking my sponge again, and I am just going to blend again on my entire skin. Make sure everything is nice and blending. Now I'm going to take this milk cream blush. I almost said liquid blush. I am just going to, again, dabble some of this onto my hand, just like that. Now I'm gonna be taking a brush and applying this. Just dipping into it and applying right back here. Oh, it's so pretty. Can you see that? I love it. So you're gonna see me apply this cream blush right now, but I'm also going to apply a powder blush later. Now, you may know that powder is one of the first things to go on your face. So I find that when I do a cream underneath, it is most likely to stay longer, which is what I want, because I want that color to feel like a girl. I am bringing this just above the contour line I just did. Now I'm taking what's left, applying it just to the tippy tip of my nose. Back over, back over. Does not hurt to continue blending. Now I'm gonna take this Maybelline strobing stick. I don't see people talk about this very much, but I love it. And again, same principle as the blush. I find that applying a cream underneath as the foundation just helps when we do apply powders for everything to just go smoothly. Just using my finger, no brush is necessary. Just applying natural amount of highlight up in these areas. Normally I would highlight the bridge of my nose, but I really do not want to draw attention to the monstrosity occurring on my nose. And I am going to try applying just a smidgen more with my finger over my pimple, more concealer that is, because she just wants to shine today. She wants to pop out. I think that made it a little bit better. Again, sponge, blendy blend. Make sure everything's nice and pressed in before we're gonna set in a minute. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna take this Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in Fair, and I'm gonna take just a little powder puff. I'm going to dab my powder puff into it just like this, okay? That is too much. Do not go in just like that. What you're gonna do, these are all things I've learned from Rose, so Rose, thank you. Going to smooth that into the back of my skin. You're probably thinking, what a waste of product. You're putting it all in your hand. No, we are mixing it in nicely on the puff so we get a fine, lovely veil of powder rather than caking it on and looking like crepey and gross, okay? So now that we've done that, I like to hold it with my middle finger at the tip and direct it just like this. I go down and then I go up, being very careful to go more and more on the tip as I bring it up. That way we're not messing up the highlight that we just did. I don't want to do thick powder right over that highlight. Again, on the other side, dip, swirl, and press. I have found personally that using a powder puff has made my pores disappear. Like when I do this, I feel like my pores legitimately disappear from my face, and it is amazing. So once I started doing this, I have not stopped. Now I'm just going to do the same thing with areas of my face that I really do not want shine coming through. So for example, my forehead tends to get really oily really quickly. I'm going to set this, not bake it or anything, but just set it a little bit more heavily. Same with my chin. Chin also is a good place to do this because you think about when you're hugging people, you want to have that makeup set. That way it's not getting all over them and not getting messed up. I know this looks super duper bright right now, but I am going to go back in with some bronzer to deepen it a little bit more to my skin tone. But I love to do this just to make sure everything's nice and set in there. Now I'm going to take this big fluffy brush, just simply dip it in a little bit, tap off the excess. Then I'm going to tap while it is face up. Basically what that's gonna do is it's getting the powder all locked and loaded inside of the brush, and we're not going in with a heavy hand when we do put this on. I hope that I'm explaining things well, okay? So now I'm just going to really lightly press where I want the foundation to stay. Definitely my neck, definitely the bottoms here, definitely my forehead, okay? But this is much lighter of an application than using the puff. I know it seems like it's redundant and like, well, why don't you just use the brush all over your face? They give completely different effects and coverage. So this is giving a much lighter coverage. As you see, I have not dipped back in. I am just simply allowing the powder that is now inside the bristles to slowly come to the surface and lock and load everything that we've done so far. Great. Now I am going to go in with bronzer. So I am just using the butter bronzer. I've been using this freaking forever. Taking a small amount, I did not tap off, just lightly tap in, keep it on there, lightly press. I'm all about preserving product. I do not personally, I do not like when I see people dig their brush all in and then tap, 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 tap. All of that goes off onto the ground and you've just wasted it. So personally, I like to just lightly tap in and go straight in. This has lasted me forever doing that, and it's worked really well for me, but it may not work for everybody, so do what works for you. I like to smile. I like to see how it's looking when I smile because your face shape tends to look a little different because everything's a little more lifted when you smile. So I like to see how things are going there. I'm just gonna dust off the excess on my nose. I don't like to do a full contour, but I'll just do that. Now I'm going to lightly press what's left underneath my eyes to make sure that that's not looking crazy, crazy bright. Just going to wipe that over my eyelids. Now I am going to go in with powder blush. I am going to, I think, use this really bright pink here and this coral mixed together. I like to just switch it up. Again, I lightly go into the product. I do not tap off. And I go straight in, going about from the corner of my eye and up. Dip, dip, bringing straight up. And you'll notice I'm pressing. I am not sweeping. For me, I have noticed that it really makes a difference in my makeup application when I press rather than sweep. Sometimes I find that sweeping can lead to lots of breakage in the makeup and splotchiness, and this has really, really worked for me. Now I'm just bringing whatever's left up through my contour, kind of make everything monochromatic, give myself a little bit more of a rosy hue. Bringing this down on my chin as well, and my nose. Very cohesive, youthful looking glow. I'm going to also bring this a smidgen underneath my eyes, whatever is left, because some of this pink and peach can help to color correct any type of baggage. Baggage. You know, when you have bags under your eyes, it can help to color correct that a little bit. So we're just gonna put a little bit of powder just right underneath there. Oh, cute. When I put blush on, I just feel like things are coming together. Okay, now I'm going to be using the Urban Decay All Nighter at this point in the process. I will be putting more spray on later, but this is it for now. You will notice that what I did is I extended my face upwards and held the bottle high. You are gonna get the most out of your product by doing this because then it can rain down on you rather than just fall flat to the floor. If you are facing this way, some of it will just fall flat to the floor. So if you hold it a bit above you, you're gonna get more product on your face. Now, at this point, I am going to, again, take my sponge, blendy blend. Make sure that we are blended. Again, the theme for this video is blend. Now what we're gonna go in with is some highlight, of course. I'm going to be using Jaclyn's Luminous Powder in Carrots and her highlighter brush from her original large brush collection with Morphe. This is an example of a product that I do tap off. I do not wanna go in too heavily with this, so I will tap in a bit, because see, look how much comes off on the brush. We do not want that much. Then in the lid, I will tap off, dip again, tap off, dip again, tap off. What this is gonna do, and we're not being wasteful because it's going back into this pot here, is we are able to get a really fine amount of highlight. That way we have a lovely sheen application that happens here. A glow from within, as they say. A lovely veil. Your skin is gonna look luminous. Oh my gosh, I love this shade. It's such a perfect yellow gold highlighter shade. You take a smidgen on the tip of my nose. And again, I'm not gonna do the bridge of my nose today. I normally would, but Monsieur Pimple is wanting to make a statement already. So then from here, I will build up the highlight in the specific spots that I want it to shine the most, little by little. Maybe do a little bit above the brow here, give a nice healthy glow. And that's good for today. Now I'm going to take a different highlight. This is the Jaclyn Hill mini highlighter in Iced. And I'm taking her JH42 and I'm using this to apply right in the center of my tear duct thing right here. Nice glow. I'm going to also, now I'm going to take just the tip of the brush, lightly, tip of the brush, lining right underneath the brow. Then I will blend this down. Now let's get to curling our lashes. While I let my lashes just chill for a second, I'm going to use the NYX Control Freak just to lightly go through my brows. Now I'm going to use this Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift in waterproof. Okay, while I let the stuff on my eyelid dry before I flake it off, I am gonna go in with the Moira Cosmetics Eye Exposure Pencil in Peach. And I'm just gonna use this in my waterline. It's gonna give me a really open eye effect, make everything really nice and bright. Now I'm just gonna take a spoolie and flake off any mascara that got on my eyelid. This is a great hack, just let it completely dry all the way and it'll flake right off. Now I'm going to take this little eyelash comb. I just got a huge set of these, huge, it was like a 6-pair set off of Amazon. I'll link them down below. And I'm just gonna take this to comb my lashes and make sure that they're separated to the way that I like. Great. Okay, so as you can tell, I made this very much more skin focused rather than eye look focused today. I did that intentionally. I am not interested in doing something crazy on my eyes at this point. But what I will do is I'm gonna take just a big fluffy brush, dip into my bronzer, and just add a bit more to my crease here, give a little bit more dimension than what we have going on currently. And it looks like you kind of did something, you kind of tried, but it's not, you know, it's not a crazy eye look, but it's something. I wanna keep my under eyes very light, so I'm not gonna apply anything there. Now it's time for the Skindinavia Makeup Finishing Spray. This is the bridal one. I got this for my wedding coming up, and I must say, the times that I have used it, I have really liked the way that my skin has looked. I have not had a chance to wear my makeup all day long, so today will actually be a very good test for that. Now I am going to wait to do my lips until closer to when we have to leave, just because I don't like the feeling of things on my lips particularly, so the less I have to wear something on my lips, honestly, the better. But you'll see me do that. We'll decide together what I end up doing. Last, final step, for real. I'm taking a little bit more of that Carrots highlighter, and I'm going to apply this to my collarbones because they will be out in this dress. I wanna make sure we look glowy, nice and poppin', just applying that right in here. If my shoulders were gonna be out, I would do this to my shoulders as well, but they will not be in this dress, so don't gotta worry about that. It's subtle, but let me tell you, it makes a difference. Okay. Let's get on to hair.